What's crack-a-lacking, guys? Welcome to your next Facebook tutorial where we're going to optimize some of our code. But before we do that, let's just go into our main.xml file, copy a button that we created, and we're going to work with friends here pretty soon. Not in this tutorial, but we're just going to change this to button 2, and we're going to say friends because obviously we want to go into our friends and set that up. Alright, so what we're going to talk about in today's tutorial specifically is an async runner. What's happening is we're running on the same thread as our GUI or graphic user interface. So when we make a post, what it does is it interacts with the Facebook server. And what happens is we're working with our GUI thread or our main applications thread. So when we make these processes, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And if it takes more than 5 seconds to accomplish this, it's going to crash our application because it seems like it's running too slow or it's taking too long, and the Android OS is going to just be like, wow, this was programmed terribly, let's just kill this application because it's wasting too much memory. So what we're going to do instead is create an async runner which separates or creates a different thread than our graphical user interface thread. And that other thread, or that async runner, is going to handle the request to the Facebook server. So our application won't crash if that thread doesn't accomplish its task, or if it takes too long, because it's a completely different thread and it's not going to affect our application. So let's go into our starting place class here. So let's create a new variable, and this is going to be a async Facebook runner. So just click that, and then we're going to call this our async runner. And it's pretty easy to set up. After we set up our Facebook object here, all we have to do is set up our async runner to equal a new async Facebook runner, and we just have to give it our Facebook object, and that'll set up our runner for us. And it's as simple as that to set up our async runner for our application. Now we can make requests to Facebook, and for example, if we want to request all of our friends, that the user of our application's friends, we can do that with the async runner. It's not going to kill the thread of our graphical user interface. So because obviously that might take a while to get all of our friends, and it might crash our application. So we're going to make that request with the async runner, which we'll probably do in the next tutorial. This tutorial just kind of sets up the basic stuff for that. And also what we're going to do instead is create a new class with static variables of our Facebook objects and also our async runner, because you're probably going to want to access the Facebook SDK within different activities of our package here that we have set up. So let's create a new class that's going to hold some of these static variables. So we're going to say a new class, and we're just going to call this utility, and save that. And then within our utility class, what we're going to do is just set up a Facebook object, call it FB, and set up a async runner, or Facebook async runner, and we're going to also call this async runner. Add our imports, and now what we're going to do is go back to our starting point class, and instead of creating a new object here and here, we're going to refer to these static variables, which we should probably say static Facebook variable, static async runner. Maybe just for convention, public static as well. Alright, so now we have those variables set up. So within here, now what we're going to do is just refer to our utility class .facebook, and same with all the other calls that we make to the Facebook object. And this way we can just easily, access this information from any class that we create from here on out, because all we're doing is setting up those static variables. And if you guys have programmed before, this isn't really a big deal. You're probably like, why are we even going over this? But it's just an efficient way to code, and it's also the way that the Facebook example package gives you. So just go throughout your whole code here, and each time it refers to the FB object, we're going to put utility dot in front of it, and also for async runner, but I think we've already got all those. So So I know it's kind of a lame tutorial, but we got all the basic stuff that we need set up here, and we might as well set up that new button that we created for friends as well. So we're going to say friends and set up our button reference, and set our visibility as well. So I know it's kind of, like I said, boring tutorial, but sometimes they have to be boring, alright? Friends, set visibility, button dot visible, and lastly down here, friends dot set visibility, button dot invisible. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Again, all we did is talked about the async runner, set up our new button for friends, and also we set up our utility class, which has static variables, so any other activity we create, we can relate to the same Facebook object. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Hope you're having a fantastic week, and catch you later.